All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of The Nerds Who Drink. I'm Steve.
Mark.
And, guys, with us this week, if you've been a long-time listener and a long-time fan of the show, you'll remember our third guest,
I'm Jason.
and that's Jay. We love him. His multiversal travels are finally over. At least that was our excuse every time he didn't show up
A
to
little
work.
back.
So, this was Mark's week to buy a beer. And Mark is very excited. He did some research on it this week.
That's kind of pathetic. That's how you know you're getting old. So this week, brought to us by Free Will Brewing Co., we got Craggle. It is actually a West Coast Indian style PA. It's 6.6% alcohol, and it's from. How do we decide that this is? I'm from Pennsylvania.
I think I want to say Percy.
Percasey. Either way, just reading some reviews. It got a score of 88 from the Beer Advocate. I'm assuming that's a reputable source. I don't know.
I mean, an 88 it's out of 100, I assume, right? That's like a solid score.
I would hope so. But it says it goes good with, fatty cuts of steak, cheeseburgers, buffalo wings. So I feel like it's right up our alley.
Oh, absolutely. So, without any further ado, we get a little. Oh, yeah. That's beautiful.
I might need to get that for Monday.
Definitely shot the screen with that one. A little sip.
Money shot.
Smells good.
Ooh. I do like that.
It's actually really good. And again, Mark and I have said this probably like 100 times throughout our recordings. Neither of us are like huge IPA fans, but I want to say we've been like wildly lucky with the selection of IPAs that we've had so far, just due to the fact that like none of them have been absurdly hoppy. I guess it's not even that I don't like the hops, because like there are hops in this. I'm just.
We could just be lucky that we're crazy. And Pennsylvania, I guess, brews amazing beers.
That's fair. They're all local breweries.
And we have 7 I can think of around us.
7? Oh, dude, we have so many. Now, I mean, it depends how far out you want to go, because we were talking. Elena and I talked the other day, and I mentioned when we went up to Hershey.
Yeah.
And
you go to Trogs?
Trogs is awesome. We have to get some Trogs. I would like to do like a holiday version of theirs, like when we get to Christmas time. Do like a Mad Elf. Yes.
Well, so their fall one for they do like a pumpkin beer. Oh, that's fantastic.
Is it good?
Oh, probably one of the best.
Okay. I'll definitely. It's like on the radar. Well, I mean, it's almost October. We're closing in. We'll get there.
Yeah.
We'll either do them for Halloween or Christmas. We'll figure it out. There's so many pumpkin beers. Like you walk into Giant at like any given time now, and it's just like, oh, pumpkin. And yeah, they're attacking you. But real quick, let me get a little pour in here into my beautiful Corksicle. If you're seeing this, please sponsor us. Oh, that noise.
This is not a paid advertisement.
This is not a paid advertisement, but it could be, Corksicle. It very well could be. I saw you like our story the other day. I'm watching you.
I think you own half the products they make.
I do own half the products, and it's disgusting. Like, I just got new Corksicles in the other day. I got 6 of them in.
What?
All right, so in all fairness, 4 of them aren't for me.
You have to start with in all fairness. There's usually like no excuse for what's about to come after it.
All right, so Corksicle is running a sale, and it was 4 for $50, so like $12.50 each. That's not bad. And I bought them as like potential gifts to give away at like Christmas with like a bottle of wine or something. If you've got a nice like Pollyanna, like we do our friend Pollyanna every year, you do a Corksicle, like a nice bottle of wine, a Corksicle, a bottle of whiskey, whatever you're going to do. So I got 4 random Corksicles, and honestly, 3 of the 4 of them are pretty cool. The 4th one, I don't personally find cool, but I'd use it. I mean, it's nice. But yeah, I've got like a lot of Corksicles. I am the suburban version of a Yeti person. I don't know how else to describe that. Like, yeah, I don't do fun outdoorsy shit, but I will mow a lawn with a Corksicle.
Well, Lexi has the habit of, I think we own no less than 17 Stanley Cups.
See, and that is called debt. Just
Yes.
Stanley Cups are like $60 a piece. I want to have a heart attack every time I see them, dude. They are such a hype thing right now, and like so many. I walked into here you go. Here's suburban dad of me. Um, I walked into Starbucks one day and I called Elaine and I was like, "Do you want a Starbucks Stanley mug?" Like, I don't even think I want it or it's even an attractive looking cup, but I know that there's like a ton of hype behind it. Maybe we could resell it or something. I don't know. And there's like three of them sitting there. I turned around and they were like gone. It's like, all right, cool. Yep, obviously,
It was a sign.
dude,
Well,
it's
you
terrible.
say that as you try to bribe her with a Stitch one. Lexi.
Yeah, but in all fairness, that was for you. I'm doing that for you so you can come to Disney with us. But we're going to do a whole thing on that. I'm going to take tons of pictures and videos of all the food and drinks that we have down there. But before we get too far into this and we get way too off the rails,
Yes.
we wanted to talk about a couple things this week, guys. So some of the big things that we've seen in the media recently, there's like tons of new movies and TV shows coming out, and it's tough for me to say new when a lot of IPs have just been regurgitated as like this is the new Super Mario Brothers or this is the new blank TV show that we're just kind of redoing again. I mean, growing up, we had Cartoon Network, we had Nickelodeon, and I can't tell you how many reboots of shows have happened and they've either completely destroyed them or, it's kind of close. Like, you guys ever watch How I Met Your Mother?
Yeah.
Okay. How I Met Your Father, right? Like,
Got canceled.
I'm not saying that the cast was bad. I'm not even saying it was a bad show, but like, I feel like a lot of creatives and, directors and things of that nature are really just like, oh, this was a really successful TV show. Like they're rebooting The Office.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like if you've ever seen The Sandlot 2 sucked. And it's not even because it was like, oh, The Sandlot 2 was just girls and doing baseball. Like I remember watching it and thinking like, dude, they pretty much just ripped off the entire script.
Well, how many cases do you see where they do a reboot and then like the original people like immediately come out and they're like, we have to come out with the original stuff again because that was so bad. It happened with Dragon Ball Evolution. That's why we have Dragon Ball Super now. It happened with Ghostbusters. They tried to do it with
Yep.
like the all female cast, and now they're like, oh, we got to bring back Bill Murray and like the OGs in with I think it's
And then they added Paul Rudd.
yeah. Like you see it with so many things that like it's like okay, like that was so bad, and I think a lot of it is people just aren't original anymore. Like you can't be original in today's like society. I would say.
But so you can and you can't. And I'm calling on Jason for this one because we have talked about it and it's something that Jay recently got me into. So good on you, Jay. I'm not reading it. I have to listen to it because I can't read all the time. But I can throw a set of headphones in and like walk around and be productive. I'm listening to the Fourth Wing series right now, right?
Great.
Jay got me into that book. Now, is every single idea in that original? No. It's about like mythical lore and dragons and being like a dragon rider. Okay, cool. It's an interesting series so far. But it's different, right? If they made a Fourth Wing TV series or movie,
They actually are.
and correct. So I saw
Amazon's
that.
making it.
Yeah, I saw that when I was looking up on YouTube. But like, could you say, oh, it's a reach? Like, oh, we have, House of Dragon. Yeah, we have dragons in that. Is there dragons in other movies and TV shows? Yes, but that's like comparing Nosferatu to Twilight. There will always be vampires and there will always be zombies and superheroes and villains and dragons and knights and this that and the other. There will always be those things, but if you come up with your own version of it, that is going to be so much better. And take the swing and miss. Take the swing. I'd rather you miss on something new than to tarnish something that like a lot of people hold dear. Like the internet bullied people into making Sonic look better.
And Stitch.
And Stitch that so again, and I have very strong feelings about this. Not that I think it's going to be a bad movie, but Lilo and Stitch was such a good movie, and I've seen it so many times because my daughter is obsessed with it.
It's
But like,
impossible.
yeah, are you going to be able to recapture that spark? Jay, bless you. You're a big
Thank
Stitch
you.
fan.
I love me
What
some
do you
Stitch.
think about the live action?
I'm nervous because it is such a good animated movie.
It is. It's a great animated movie.
And I don't know if they're going to be able to actually what are they going to do? Are they going to try to just do it shot for shot, just live action? Are they going to try to change it a little bit, which then takes away from the good story?
I'm sure they're going to change it slightly to make it a little more modernized. Obviously, they have to. This was made in the early 2000s. Yeah. So, we're talking like 20 plus years ago, which is crazy to me. But it's one of those things where it's like, I get it. Lilo and Stitch it's grown in popularity again. And like, because Stitch is such a lovable character. And I'm not saying that they're wrong in trying to make a live action version of it. But let's look back at, like, I'm going to name 3 live action Disney movies. Beauty and the Beast. They redid that live action. It was okay. Aladdin. I love the fact that Will Smith paid homage to Robin Williams, but did his own thing. And then, what's another recent
Lion
one?
King.
I'm trying to think.
Lion
What's up?
Lion King.
Lion King. Okay, again, Lion King. That one's just a weird one because, like, it's just like an entire CGI movie.
See, and that's where I think the deciding factor will be with the Lilo and Stitch thing. Because I think if they go like half old school with filming it, where you're still using like puppets for eye lines and things like that, and then you're just kind of using CG like when you have to, I think that would go so much further. Because like, how many times have you been watching a movie and like it's an all CG character, but like there's just something off with like the real people interacting with them? Versus say like Jurassic Park, where you actually have like animatronics that you have eye lines you can look at and crap.
Yeah. See, and that's a great reference. I love Jurassic Park. That's another thing. Like, we're having another Jurassic World movie. Just like, it's fucking, like, we're Fast and the Furiousing all of these goddamn franchises. Just fucking stop.
Well, there is one that I did kind of like, the newer one, the latest Mortal Kombat.
Okay, and again,
because they went away from what any story that's been told.
And you know what? They did like a prequel almost. It was an origin story.
I think the second one's slated to come out soon.
Yeah,
and that
I
would
think
be
in the next
great.
year or so.
But when was I mean, I'm trying to think. Like, I know there was like one in the 80s, 90s.
90s, 96 and then 98.
There was one, wasn't there? There was Annihilation. There was Mortal Kombat, then there was Annihilation, and then I thought there was a third one.
I don't think there's a third movie. I think there's like Mortal Kombat Origins, which is like an internet web series. They're like 10-minute episodes. You could honestly watch them on HBO Max. They have some cartoons. They're pretty good.
But I'll take a cartoon. Whatever. It's an animation. But speaking of animation, what was one of your most memorable? And I'm going to be like really specific because I'm trying to drive you in a certain direction. One of your most memorable WB kids TV series.
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Okay, fair enough. Not the direction I was going for.
Actually,
but
no, I lied.
Super.
Jackie Chan Adventures. If you want to go,
Jackie Chan Adventures, that's a great series. Superhero based.
Justice League?
Okay, closer. Batman the Animated Series, right?
Ow. Okay.
Batman.
The best version.
The best one, right? Now they just redid it as the Caped Crusader.
Well, they've done 2 or 3.
I'm not saying they haven't done Batman before, but I'm saying this is like
no.
a reboot of the animated series.
No, I'm just saying they've done like animated ones after that, like the Bold and whatever,
or even the Bold
something else. They were all terrible, and I hated the animated. I hate the way they animated it, but that's on.
But I mean, if you look at like any of the newer stuff that's on like HBO Max, I love the new animation style. I think everything looks good. The actors and actresses that they have cast for the voices, solid. I don't think we need to keep like going back and reaching to what we did 20, 30 years ago. We don't need to do that. Come up with some new shit. And Mark and I have said this before. I don't need an origin story for a Batman or a Spider-Man or a Superman. Give me like a new character. Give me something different. There are so many Marvel and or DC characters or Image Comics or just name any comic company. Give me
But
something new. We talked Last Ronin on the last episode. That's new. That's something that hasn't been animated or live actioned before. Give me that stuff. It's a fresher idea. It's a new take. Give me a Knights of the Old Republic. Give me a Force Unleashed TV series. Like anything. I would take anything, and that kind of drives me into my next
well,
rant.
I got one thing to say to that.
No,
So
hit
you're
me.
saying you want a new the origin story you don't need every time, but
Mhm.
for all of us, we all followed Marvel stuff pretty well.
Sure.
That's in every superhero. That's always like that. What would be the Nexus event that needs to happen in order to get.
Okay, but and I'll so Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, Uncle Ben dies. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, every Spider-Man, Uncle Ben effectively dies.
Yeah, that's the Nexus event for Peter Parker.
Why not Tom Holland?
I,
Because you don't need it. You don't need it.
but it's I get you
It's
don't need to show
referenced.
it every
It's
time.
referenced.
Yes.
It's referenced.
You need it.
That's all you need.
It is a part of the story. I don't say you
I
need,
get it,
I'm not saying
but
you
I
need
don't
to
need
show
to
it
see
every
it.
time.
To be fair,
I don't need to see
do the same trope with Aunt May with Tom Holland.
They did. I mean, they did. And
To be fair,
that is the one detracting factor from that movie. I did not like that. And I'm being honest. I didn't like the fact that they killed off Aunt May, and the way that she went out was, with great power comes great responsibility. That's not your line. Sorry. And I'm going to be honest with you. That, I thought that was a great movie.
on set.
That
No.
nope.
Great
Do it again.
responsibility.
Do it again.
Oh,
Different.
Lord.
I mean,
The boom, Mike. It's not your line.
I mean, if I'm going to be honest with you, I don't agree with it personally. But to each their own. I'm no Kevin Feige. I don't have $1 billion in my bank account because I'm not a movie creator or a director or an actor. I can't say how this should or shouldn't have gone down. I just don't agree with it. But again, the Batman with any newer Batman, like Christian Bale, they kind of referenced it. You didn't need to see it.
Can I really quick give you a very, very hot take that hopefully doesn't...
No.
He's your
I'm
least
here
favorite Batman, right, Mark?
Yes.
Not only that, I honestly think that when it comes to those movies, because I just rewatched the trilogy, and to be perfectly honest, I love The Dark Knight. Absolutely, Heath Ledger, R.I.P. God. Dark Knight Rises is such a better movie than The Dark Knight was. The Joker was absolutely the best part about that trilogy. Don't get me wrong, best character. But movie-wise, storytelling, Dark Knight Rises might actually be, I think, better than The Dark Knight.
Okay. And now, again, this is one of those things where, I might, because I'm not as big a DC guy, I know that's, your realm, I might have to go back and rewatch them all. And that's just, I'll take a weekend and, just pop them on.
Mark, I need to hear, let's hear this a little bit more. Because, I think that beer hit you a little harder than we're expecting right now.
It couldn't have. It's only a 6.6% alcohol by volume. But Mark, wait until next week. Oh boy, next week's gonna kill you.
Because don't get me wrong, Dark Knight Rises, great movie. They tell a good story. The Dark Knight was, from beginning to end, just a great movie. Minus, I don't like Christian Bale when he tries to play Bruce Wayne, part of it, but that's a whole separate thing.
Oh my God.
I don't think he was a good Bruce Wayne.
He was not. He was a good Batman. He was a terrible Bruce Wayne.
He was a terrible Batman. What
He was a better
being Batman was good.
He's brooding.
What about
He's brooding.
what aspect of you see Christian Bale and go, that's Batman?
Why don't see? That's the thing. You're not supposed to see Batman. That's the entire point of his identity.
You're playing Batman and you're in a Batman suit. I'm expecting to go, that's Batman. Like I look at Ben
In
Affleck.
all fairness,
He was way better than fucking Bat Nipples.
well, wait.
George Clooney, yeah. George Clooney.
Now, are you referencing like just body shape?
No, just like
we don't body shame
comics. Obviously, different animators have different animation styles. When I look at Christian Bale, I don't see like just his suit, his like build. I don't see Batman or Bruce Wayne. I see like an action figure, more like to where like
Okay.
Ben Affleck I can see from like maybe like The Dark Knight Returns, like when he's older and he's beefed up and bulkier. You got Michael Keaton, who easily could be from almost any of the newer storylines where he has a more slimmer kind of a look. Like for me, Christian Bale, it was his suit was just too like armory. If that makes sense.
Okay, so
Batman's
let me ask then, like, what about the Robert Pattinson Batman then?
See, that one's tough because
that's a very armory suit.
It is, however, it is also a very inexperienced vigilante.
It's a Batman year one.
And that's what I mean. Like, you look at any, like, year one stories and their suits, like, even, like, The Flash and Arrow in this Arrowverse, their original suit, well, Arrow's was just a loincloth draped over shoulders pretty much with a hood to begin with. But, like, I don't know. I feel like initially the suits start off, like, kind of more armory until they feel comfortable in whatever their power set is, and then they kind of get a more relaxed and comfortable fitting one. But for me, like, I just never really picture, like, because with Batman, his armor's always hidden. It's always, like, sewn into the actual fabric of his suit.
Sure.
It's never visible. With Christian Bale, I look like I'm watching, like, a soldier almost. Like, he has, like, that Judge Dredd kind of a feel to me, if that makes sense.
Listen, I don't disagree with you. Do I think that detracts from his acting ability, though? Like, again, Christian Bale's a great actor. So maybe I'm not saying he's a good voice actor. I'm saying he's a good actor.
I thought he was a decent. Honestly, I'll give him props. He wasn't a good Wayne, but he was a decent Wayne. Honestly, laugh at Bad Nipples all you want, but George Clooney was one of the best Bruce Waynes.
Oh, dude, I don't disagree with you.
100%.
I think George Clooney is phenomenal.
But one of the best Bruce Waynes.
I like Ben Affleck as Bruce Wayne too because
Val Kilmer was a great Bruce Wayne.
Ben Affleck played a great Bruce Wayne.
I think he was the best to cover both sides.
Of
not just being Bruce or Batman, but like both.
That's where I was going. Like I put Ben Affleck and Tom Holland kind of like in the same category. Like neither of them are really good at one or the other. They're both just very good at both.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tom Holland, I think he still had that like boyish charm to him. He still does because he looks young. And he's a great Spider-Man just because he's the year one Spider-Man. He's very inexperienced. He's kind of learning, and you watch him grow as a character through the 3 movies so far. I know he's signed on for more, which is great. I think Andrew Garfield played a great Spider-Man because he's a smartass. Did not play a good Peter Parker. Tobey Maguire played a good Peter Parker. I don't think he played a good Spider-Man.
He was a little old, though, for Peter Parker, honestly.
I think he was a little old for Peter Parker. I just think Peter Parker is a nerd, right? He is, and I don't say a nerd like we are the nerds who drink, right? Like, I'm not saying a nerd from like what we are as people. Like, when Stan Lee wrote the character, he was supposed to be an everyman. Like, Spider-Man was supposed to be someone that you could look in the mirror and say, I could be a superhero. It didn't matter. Like, he wasn't supposed to be super strong or super good looking or super ripped or, you know, the tallest person in the world, or it wasn't the model-esque looking figure. It was the everyman. And that is Tom Holland. I mean, listen, I'm not detracting. Tom Holland's a good looking dude. I'm just going to say what it is. But he's an everyman. Like, if he wasn't famous, you wouldn't think twice to see him on the streets. Andrew Garfield, he's a good looking dude. I don't think he plays a good Peter Parker. And again, I felt like he was a little too old to be in high school.
I can't argue with that.
obviously Tobey Maguire, he was like a college student, which we just
He started off
we
in high
accepted
school.
it.
He started
Correct.
off
He
in
didn't
high
start
school.
off in high school. He started off in like a sophomore year of high school.
Yeah, and he
Which is why
looked
Tom
like
Holland
he
played
was
him well.
like 30.
Yeah. No. Well, no. Hold on.
And then of
Tobey
course
Maguire
Flash
in
was
college.
Joe Manganiello. I'm pretty sure it was
Manganiello?
Flash. Manganiello was Flash. I've never seen a high school kid look like that. I'm just saying.
Have you never watched Riverdale?
Yeah, I have, and that's a whole different topic. But
We'll get into that one day. But yeah, so I think a lot of nostalgia is used and driven like media stuff nowadays. Like they want you to feel like you did in the 90s. They do. And they're like, hey, I'm going to grab onto your childhood when things were easy and bills didn't suck and you could afford things. And we're going to drive you back there and then you're going to be happy. And that's exactly what you're going to get out of this. And that's what they're doing. And that, I mean, they're winning. I'm not saying they're not winning. I'm just, my topic of conversation here was really just like, do you think that they're doing it too much? Like, are they relying too heavily on nostalgia?
yes,
I think if it's done right, it could be helpful, but I feel like for the most part, it's not done right. Like me and my wife, we just went to go see Beetlejuice on Thursday,
Oh,
like the new one, and it's like
yeah.
you're watching it and you're like, okay, I can tell they're trying to hit that same like wavelength they did in the first one, but like I don't know, it just doesn't stick the way it originally did.
Yep.
So I have a hot take on this.
Oh, hit me.
Not a fan of Tim Burton movies.
Like any of them, or like
Hold on.
Consistently.
Now, I'm curious why.
Just it feels like the same story over and over again every time.
Like, is it the so you say it's like the themes, or is it like the actual?
Yeah, it's the themes more than anything. Like The Nightmare Before Christmas. Love that movie purely on nostalgia because I've watched it more recently. Not the greatest movie ever made, but I don't like the greatest movies all the time, so that's fine.
I think The Christmas Story is one of the worst Christmas movies ever made.
Yeah, so his consistent theme is just always the exact same and always follows the same story.
It's just he's dark.
Yeah, that's fine. You can be dark, but it's
like Edward Scissorhands.
It feels very repetitive. Just saying.
Wait, hold on. Now I'm going to ask this question as I'm walking into this door. Is Coraline? Does anyone know? Is Coraline Tim Burton?
I'm pretty sure it is.
That's a fucked up movie.
It is.
I think
that's a fucked up movie. Let me real quick. Yeah. So.
It's really funny because I had this conversation at work with people, and I got the same reaction. They're like, "You don't like Tim Burton?"
It is not a Tim Burton movie.
Oh,
it was not a Tim Burton. It was a Tom Selleck. Is that what it says here?
Okay.
Like
it says Selleck. Henry Selleck. Oh wow, Henry Selleck. So not Tom Selleck. I just assumed Tom because I've never seen that last name before except with him. But it says it's very often confused as a Tim Burton movie because of like the theme of it, right? So now, Jay, that being said, do you just not like movies with that type of theme?
That could be it. Although I never really watched Coraline.
It's fucked up, dude. It's super fucked up. So the overarching story of like the movie. Now I know there's a book behind it, which is like apparently really dark. So Jay, if you want to read like something really fucked up, there's your book for the day.
Well, I have let's see here. I have 3 more books in the current series. Onyx Door comes out in January. My friends already have another 10 book series for me to read. And I am 22 out of 35 into the Drizzt series. I have a lot of books to read.
So Jay, you threw out a lot of numbers right there. That's a lot of reading.
Yeah, I can. So if I read all the books that I want to get done, I have 3 more in my current series, 10 more in the following series. The 13. Series I took a pause on, I have another 13 to add to it. So I'm up 26. To 26. and then a new one comes out in January, which I'm gonna drop everything and read as soon as it drops.
So we're at 27 books. That makes me want to vomit. I love you, but holy shit.
Well, Steve, we've talked about this. I'm already at 14 this year, and I've got to a really slow start. I was reading
That's
one
fair.
a month until June, and then that kind of ramped up.
I don't
That's
know if
fair.
I've read 14 books in my entire life.
No, I've read 14 books in my entire life. I haven't read 14 books this year unless you count like operations manuals for work stuff.
I've done the most I've done recently in a year was 27.
And that's why I love you.
I like reading sometimes.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. So let's jump to a different position here. And I wanted to talk to you guys about video games that have adapted into movies and TV. Recently, there's been a lot, and I mean like a lot of shit that's come out. There's a lot of stuff that's slated to come out. What are your feelings on them? I know that if you have something specific to like reference, that's great. I have a couple shows that I've watched, and are we just trying to like monetize IPs further, or are they really trying to like make a movie and TV show out of these video games?
Well, the one I know well enough is Halo. Like, unfortunately, I know like they've dropped like Fallout before. They've dropped a Fallout TV show. I know there's one more, and I don't know why I'm forgetting it. I feel like there was another one very recently that came out that for some reason I'm not remembering. But like the Halo one, for what it was, I liked, but I don't know. I think they're trying to hit the nostalgia and didn't do the greatest job ever.
Okay, that's fair. Mark, what are your feelings on?
On Halo, or because I've never seen Halo?
Well, I mean, just on in general. Like, so if you have a specific series that you've watched that was like a video game.
I've had a couple, and see, for me, even, or wait, are we going TV series or are we going movies, or it doesn't matter?
TV or movie, either or.
Because, see, one movie, like, it's going to sound really dumb, but, like, when it came out, it actually kind of hit home for me, was Pixels. With
Okay.
Sandler and all them, where they're fighting, like, Pac-Man.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I remember
I
that.
know.
Peter
I know the movie
Dinklage,
you're talking
they
about
use,
now.
like, the race cars to be, like, the ghosts when they're fighting Pac-Man.
Yeah.
To me, I thought that was a really out-of-the-box way to think about it. Is like, hey, it's actually a movie about an alien invasion. However, the aliens are like, this is what these people are into. Let's see how they react.
Yeah.
But then you get movies like Doom or like Assassin's Creed, and they were just like absolute bombshells for the most part. There's
I
a
forgot
5-second
about that.
scene that was cool in Doom, and that's when they go to the first person like view and he shoots like 3 beasts. But then, other than that, it's just like the story's dumb. It's a dumb movie with stupid Rock at the time. Like they just played one of them characters. It's like that's going to be the villain, and then he was the villain. And then I mean,
Yeah, but it also had Carl Urban in it, who was amazing.
Oh, I love
Well, Carl Urban's good
I
in
love Carl.
everything he does.
I was
Like,
gonna
let's
say
be
that.
real.
Carl
He was.
Urban. Dude. He's
amazing.
I feel like he's one of them actors. Like if he wanted to be a spy, like he could easily be a spy. Like if you look at all the roles, like Gary Oldman too. If you look at like all the roles that they play, like they never look like that. Like you watch a role of Chris Pratt, and you're like, that's Chris Pratt. Like even when he voiced Mario, you're like, that's Chris Pratt.
Yep. That is actually a movie that I did want to talk about. So it is a twofer. So it hits the like video games that's turned into a movie. Which I mean, we had Super Mario Brothers movie in the fucking 90s, which was god awful. I don't even want to talk about that. Like we're going to gloss over how fucking miserable that movie was.
What? That movie was so good.
Yeah.
That ranks right up there with like Field of Dreams.
Yep.
Mile, like
a Green Mile, The Sandlot, Mighty Ducks. But I mean, so
D3 was kind of mid, but D1,
yeah, that's fair.
Were phenomenal.
That's fair.
D2 was the best in that series.
It was. I love that D1 set it up. D2 was great. D3, they went a little too far, and it's not that like
it was the private school, right?
Yeah. It wasn't that I didn't enjoy it. I just didn't enjoy it as much. Because again, looking back on those movies, like the nostalgia driven, like I wanted to be a hockey player when I was a kid. I wanted to be a baseball player playing, on the sandlot. I was that kid. Like I wanted to live those lives. It was a fun time. But, again, we have Super Mario again. And it's not a bad thing. It's animated. It's cool. Chris Pratt's a hot number as far as like actor and voice actor. He's Yeah, he does what he needs to do, and that's great for him. Like I'm happy for him that he's just getting more out there and doing stuff. Did I think that movie needed to come out? No. Do I think that fucking Minecraft needs to come out? No. Is it geared towards us? No. But
Will you
so
watch
be
it?
it. I will not watch. I probably won't watch it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think I've ever played Minecraft once, and it was because like my nephew was like, "Oh, check this out. Let's play Minecraft." I was like, "All right, whatever. We'll play Minecraft."
Well,
That's not one of those games that I really like got into. Now, slated up as a God of War, either movie or TV series. I would prefer TV series because that I get a little more out of it. But if it's like a 6 episode series, it's an hour long episode each, I might burn Sony to the ground.
Do we have any idea who is apparently supposed to be slated to play Kratos? Because
I can look that up.
Very specific person.
I've seen things about the Dwayne Johnson playing him, but I don't know how true that is, and I really hope he doesn't. I really hope.
No, I would.
You need somebody who's nothing against Dwayne Johnson. He is too big. Kratos is not that large of a human. Like Dwayne Johnson is way too big of a person. You need somebody who's
I agree.
a little smaller and athletic. Because think about it, Spartans weren't that big, but he was just.
Neither is Wolverine.
Hugh Jackman's not that big of a human.
Hugh Jackman's like 6 foot. Wolverine in the book's like 5'3".
I didn't think he was that short, but all right, whatever.
Yeah, that's why, like, if you watch Deadpool Wolverine, there's a funny little cameo in there that nobody really understands, but that's why that cameo was in there.
So, from what I'm seeing, they don't have a Kratos cast yet. Again, I don't know how far along in production this is. I just know it's like there's been rumors of it potentially being a thing. I agree. I don't think Dwayne Johnson is going to be. He shouldn't be Kratos. Kratos is not built like Dwayne Johnson.
No,
he's just not. Now, again, Kratos is overall.
I think Momoa might be able to do a good job. Honestly,
he would do a solid job. I think he looks enough like him. I think with like a shaved face, shaved head. Yeah, that's going to be a bold move for Jason Momoa.
He's still missing out on the best character that's never been shown on movies that he should play.
Who?
Lobo.
Okay, I agree with that.
Is that where you're going with that?
I didn't even have to say it, and Mark knew it.
So
for years.
I feel like Mark mentioned that like an episode or 2 ago. I could be wrong.
About 7 different.
I've been thinking it for forever because he would be perfect.
He looks like Lobo. I mean, he looks like him. Let's just call it what it is. He would be an awesome Lobo. And I don't think that again, we want to talk new stuff. Give me a fucking Lobo series. Give me a Lobo movie. That would be awesome. And I could take Jason Momoa as Lobo because he looks enough like him. He's got that, the ruggedness to him. He's got the hair. He's got the facial hair. That's fucking awesome. Let's do it. I'm down with that. That's new. That's fresh. That's something that hasn't been done before. That's the shit that I'm talking about. Give me those kinds of things. Stop playing on my fucking nostalgia because I remember those times when I didn't have to pay bills and I could wake up at, noon on a Saturday and watch cartoons and eat cereal all day. That's what I want to. That's the life I want to live, man. It's the life I want to live. Shut up, Jay. Yeah, I used to sleep in.
What kind of psychopath waits till noon to watch cartoons on a Saturday morning with their bowl of cereal?
Maybe not literally noon, but you know what I mean. I could sleep in a little bit. Dude, sleeping in, 8 o'clock is sleeping in for me.
That's the time I used to get up to watch cartoons on Saturday morning.
I probably did too, if I'm being honest with you, man. I was a busy kid. I had a lot of stuff to do.
Adventure, Static Shock. You had
Oh,
I would
Sex Shop
try
is
to get
good.
up earlier to watch the weird ones, like
That
God,
was
what
just
was it?
WB.
Did
Yeah,
you ever
no,
watch
on WB
Beetleborgs?
because they used to have the wrestling one, and I can't remember what it was
Lucha
called.
Libre.
Lucha
Muscle.
Libre.
Wasn't it Lucha
No,
Muscle.
they had the muscle one with Muscle Man Junior or Muscle something
Yeah,
Junior.
that's what I'm saying. I'm pretty sure it's called like Lucha.
Yeah.
Was it? That might be it. I love that one. I would get up early just to watch that one because it was such a weird one nobody else liked, but it was so good. It was so good.
Mucha Lucha.
That's
That
it.
okay.
It was
That's what it was.
Lucha Libre.
I was just looking at.
Jack Black.
No, that's Nacho Libre.
Nacho Libre. Yeah.
And then there was also the Nickelodeon one with the flea and the little kid with the blue and red mask. I can't remember what his name was, but he turned into like a little ball. I'm pretty sure
Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about. I thought that was the same show.
it's not.
I know, but like again, my adult brain is like trying to remember these things that are like obscure ass TV series that existed back in the fucking 90s and early 2000s that I don't really remember, but I'm kind of like, oh yeah, like I remember seeing something about that.
Wait. Oh, to our actual topic we were going over about
Shoot, hit
trying
me.
to bring nostalgia back. So, have you guys ever seen the movie The Crow?
Yes.
The original,
Like
with
the
Brandon
original
Lee?
one, yes,
Okay. Has the new one dropped yet?
I think so.
I'm not sure.
Are you gonna watch
It
it?
either did or it's coming out within the next couple weeks.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, I feel like it dropped, but it might be like a week or two out.
I'll check it out.
It comes out. No, it came out the 23rd of August.
Okay,
So it's
that's
out.
Okay, so it's been out for a couple weeks. Do you think they should have done that?
No. Do I think that the actors in it? So if you've ever seen the movie It, Jay, probably not.
I have when I was a little kid, and that's why I hate
No.
clowns and hate
Have
horror
you seen the
movies.
new It?
Oh God, no! I would never
'Cause
watch that.
The actor Bill Skarsgård who played It is the Crow.
That's amazing. So they're following the same story as the original one, correct?
From what I understand, yes, but again, I would need to see the movie.
Hold on,
But that's just it. That's where like stop fucking remaking shit. Make something new.
I feel like they're
We
kind
can
of
do
going the
that.
route that like kind of like Ghost Rider goes, where it's like anybody could be the Crow. Because the way they set it up in the first one is like the Crow just helps people that were wronged come back to make things right. So that could be anybody.
Yeah, it sounds like a whole lot like the original one because
it probably is.
Because the first one is Eric Draven.
Yeah, I'm looking at like the cast. The cast looks solid. Not a lot of people that I know.
I'll wait till it's.
But it looks. I'll probably wait until the streaming. If I'm being honest with you, I'm not gonna like go pay to see that. What the hell did we just talk about like yesterday that I wanted to go see? Is there a superhero movie coming out soon?
Agatha All Along comes out next week.
No.
What comes out next week?
Agatha.
Oh.
I think it's next.
That's streaming though. That's just.
There's Venom. Venom trailer.
I do want to see Venom. Shit, I'm trying to think what the fuck it was.
I'm gonna be sad when that ends.
I'm trying to think of
Love the Venom movies.
Superhero wise, I don't think Marvel's really put. I think they were only putting out Deadpool and Wolverine this year. I don't think they were dropping any other movies.
Yeah, no. We talked about Venom. We talked about going to see Venom, like not necessarily opening night, like the Thursday, but that Friday. Mark, you and I can go do coverage for that because we had talked about the Null thing, and we'll get to that eventually. It's one of those things. Like, I think I want to dedicate a little more than a 5-minute clip to talking about Venom and like the King in Black and how it's going to tie all that stuff in, and like it's a real big Norman Reedus, the whole nine.
I love that
going on with that.
I have the book somewhere over here. I thought somewhere I have it. Maybe not over here. I do have the King in Black though. Great storyline, and that movie, honestly, it'll only work if they do it one way. And outside of that,
Let's hear it. Come on, let's hear your opinion.
So if you're going to bring in an end-all character, because obviously Venom 3, I'm assuming with everything going on with Marvel and Sony now, especially with the character like Spider-Man and Rights, I'm assuming this will probably be Venom's last movie, since it is the trilogy movie.
Yeah.
So now the question is, you're going to bring in Null, who's arguably one of Marvel's probably most biggest bads.
Yep.
Like, homie decapitated a Celestial and created the Necrosword, which we saw in Thor: Love and Thunder. That was heavily unused. But like that sword that Gore the God Butcher uses is the first symbiote that he creates. So the only way that this works is, as we said earlier, Tom Holland is signed on for more Spider-Man movies. You need to work Null into getting rid of, unless you're going to somehow bring Tom Hardy back in the MCU, but if you're doing away with Tom Hardy, Null has to strip that Venom, but use that Venom to find a way to the MCU, since Venom is the only symbiote that has crossed over.
Yeah.
However, if you're only using Null as a one-off character, like, you're going to tank an amazing character that the MCU could possibly use down the line.
Absolutely. And I think if they're going to use him as a one-off, they're going to nerf him.
Well, you almost have to nerf him.
Now, I like your concept of like using the Venom symbiote and like traveling multiversal travel. Like, I think that's the traversal, multiversal.
And then that's how Tom Holland would have to get the black suit, would be the leftover bit from Tom Hardy showing up in Secret Wars, which is what we're supposed to get, which is where he first gets the symbiote suit.
Okay, I'm glad you referenced that, because I was going to say I want a Secret Wars, and then what I want to end that, and again, maybe I'm wrong, maybe we don't want this, it could blow up in my face by saying this. What I would like is a Secret Wars Spider-Man, and then at the end of that movie, team up with a live-action Miles Morales. And that's where the torch gets passed from Tom Holland to whoever they choose as a live-action Miles Morales. That ties into the Spider-Verse from Sony. Then we get our live-action Gwen Stacy as the Ghost Spider. You have a Nicolas Cage Spider Noir, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You could go on forever.
He's Superman.
You say Nicolas Cage is Superman?
Well, he's supposed to be.
That's
No.
fair.
God, no. Please.
I don't think he would be a good Superman.
I mean,
Well, we've already had the best
be a
Superman.
good Superman. He just was.
We have a new Superman coming out soon anyway. And like, here's the thing. Stop fucking making Superman movies. Jay, I know he's one of your favorites, but god fucking damn it, just stop.
You know what? I 100% agree with you. We had the best person play Superman, and they screwed him over.
You're speaking of Henry Cavill, I assume.
I loved Henry Cavill as Superman.
He was a great Superman.
He was.
He really was. Like, he had the look. He had like the physique for it.
The fact that he was
just a bad.
He was one of us.
He's bad. Yes, he's one of us. He is a nerd.
That dude studies the script and plays Warhammer 4000. Like, that's his day.
You know what? He's got. So that's how you know he's rich. He can play Warhammer.
He almost didn't get the job as Superman because he was in the middle of a raid in WoW and missed the call.
You know what, though? That's fucking dedication. Him and Leroy Jenkins, all right?
Leroy Jenkins.
That's such like a funny thing. There's so many people that I know that like don't know that reference, and I'm like, how do you not know one of the most famous references from all of video game history? I don't know. Maybe that's just me. That's my personal opinion of it. But no, honestly, I think I agree. He was an amazing Superman. Probably one of the best to ever play the role.
I definitely agree with that.
How do we feel about the new Fantastic Four? Now, I'm not even talking the actors and actresses. Have you seen the fucking suits?
No, but
I know
I
it's supposed to take
dislike
place.
every live action Fantastic Four they've ever made because they've all been terrible.
It's supposed to take place in like the '60s, right?
Yeah, it's like it's
Oh,
very like bright. Well, not bright. It's not dark blue suits. They're like bright blue suits with like the white liner.
yes, the power.
It's not the dark blue and black.
I'm fine with that. If it's accurate to like that time period of the comics, then I'd be cool with it.
I think it will be. I have a feeling it will be. Pedro Pascal. I mean, obviously they're star grabbing at this point. Let's be honest.
Fantastic Four
Now is
first.
RDJ going to be Doctor Doom in Fantastic Four, or do you think
I don't. I think he's just
he'll be a
for
post
the.
credit scene? You think?
He might be a post credit scene.
Because I know
So now
this is supposed to
the
be.
question. Well, the question here is the Fantastic Four still going to be under Sony or Fox or whoever the fuck owns it?
Well, no, I thought Marvel got full control of Fantastic Four.
They may have.
Yeah.
And again, I could be very wrong. I have to do a little bit more deep dive on this. I just saw set photos. I didn't know if you guys saw the set photos. It's an interesting look. Again, it's very much like the 60s. It's like the OG Fantastic Four, which I'm cool with. Pedro Pascal, sorry, you got to shave your mustache. We're not doing a fucking Henry Cavill, cover up bullshit CGI thing. Just shave your face, buddy. I love John Krasinski as the Reed Richards. I really did. I thought he looked good.
Oh, and the Illuminati.
Absolutely, in the Illuminati, in the fucking Marvel Illuminati, the Council of fucking the above people. I don't even know how to describe it. Like I'm better than you, and I know it.
Well, they were called the Illuminati.
I know that's.
You see, James Spader's coming back to voice Ultron, and I think it was Armor Wars, maybe.
Ooh.
I like that because I thought he played a really good Jarvis Ultron. Whatever he was. I'm sorry, he wasn't Jarvis. Paul Bettany was, but I thought he played a good Ultron.
Oh, he did all. I was amazing as Ultron, but just the fact that like
Terrible in The Office, but great on
I loved him on The Office. Robert California. Robert
I don't know.
California
I
is
felt
one of the most legendary enigmas of television history.
I'm not saying Robert California himself was bad necessarily. I just felt like at that point in the series was in a free fall.
Oh, it was dead already. Yeah, no, that
Like when Will Ferrell, I love Will Ferrell as an actor. I thought he was fucking terrible in The Office.
it wasn't good.
And again, he tried to play his like classic funny self, and he did not hit the mark.
I don't like The Office either.
Like at all.
We're not saying we don't like The Office, Jay. We're saying we don't.
Jay,
like characters.
we need to unpack whatever trauma you've got built up inside you, because
I can't get through season 1. It is so bad.
and that's your problem.
See, I can get.
You've told me this for forever, and I can't get through it. It is so
You
terrible.
ready? Just start out with season 2.
Start at season 2. I absolutely agree.
Legit, just
After
start with season 2. See what happens.
Steve Carell gets his hair fixed, everything's better.
Or if you've never watched it, start watching a show called Supernatural, because I'm rewatching that right now, and I forgot
You act like
what it is.
you. Who has not seen Supernatural? That is such a good show. Until you get to like season.
I'm on season 9 right now.
I forget when do the Leviathans start coming in? Because I'm pretty sure that's when it goes
like 5.
hard downhill.
Yeah, I think they were like season 5. This was the
I feel like that's when they started going downhill at that point.
I'm on the
but I
season.
can't remember if it's for sure.
So I'm on the season when Dean just got the mark at Kane and took down Abaddon.
Okay. I feel like a lot of shows like that, like even Arrow, The Flash, like it was you captured that spark in the first couple seasons, and then after how many seasons does a show get stale? Like Community, if you've ever seen that.
I started watching it and then I just lost interest.
That's fair. It was a good season. It was a good show for 4 seasons. Like after season 4, it was a little wonky, and then like you slowly watched like extras from the background disappear, and then eventually it was just like the original cast and like 5 other people.
So while we're doing this, what do you guys think of the show Modern Family?
It's a show, so it's a show that I would watch like if it was on TV when I used to watch like live TV. If it was on, I'd probably watch it, but it wasn't something that I was like itching to catch the next episode of.
I think it's a terrible show.
I think I have seen a total of 6 minutes of that show ever.
Are you like,
I've seen at least like,
or is that just a guess? Because you seem pretty
It's a
trained on whatever
guess.
you were looking at, so I didn't know if you had some kind of stats there. Like, okay, Modern Family, 6 minutes.
No. I was looking over because I was trying to check out pictures from the new Fantastic Four, because I heard about it. I know a little bit, but like I never saw any. You said Steve was saying he saw set pictures, so I was trying to see if I could find it.
yeah.
Most
So, and the thing
ones were like,
we had talked, I mean, Mark, you referenced this earlier briefly. Like, Ben Grimm is not going to be completely CGI.
That's gonna be weird.
which you should.
He's going to have like the suit, so he'll look like the Thing, but then like we'll CGI maybe like the facial features and structure and stuff like. I'm fine with that. Give me that stuff. I hate a full CGI character. I'm sorry. It's especially watching like a long movie with like a one CGI character that just you're watching someone talk to a head on a stick.
Well, ready? So, on a future episode, because this can really take us down a rabbit hole, is how has special effects gone backwards?
That's a
Think
fair
about
question.
2009 and 2012 when we were getting like Planet of the Apes, like that style. Like, I'm sorry, but by the second movie, Caesar, his individual furs were moving in the wind, and he was like it looked like a real fucking monkey. To where now it's like you can tell you're just like, oh, okay, it's like a blob, whatever.
Cost.
So here's the thing: is it that CGI has gotten worse, or creators have gotten lazy?
I think it's a little
Because
bit.
you got to figure the technology couldn't have gotten worse. I saw a video today. It was completely AI made, but it was Mike McDaniel, the coach of the Miami Dolphins, just like talking shit on Tua.
That
And
sounds bad.
it wasn't real. It was not real. But I thought it was fucking hilarious. So again, AI is possible. Like creating like the individual hair fibers and stuff moving on a character is possible. We saw it in The Incredibles 2, where like they had fibers in their clothing, which they didn't have in the first one. And looking at TV shows and stuff, like things have come further. Animation has come further. So I don't think it's necessarily that we've gone backwards. I think people have gotten lazier. And I'm going to call it what it is. Like, I see it at work all the time. I'm sure you guys do too. You get the people that have been there for a while and they've been doing the job and they just get fucking lazy.
I see it all the
It is
time.
what it is. Oh, it is what it is. I mean, and we can't do anything about it, but you know, as we're closing in on an hour-long episode again, I love this.
Well, we can.
Sorry.
We need to.
Tangents are necessary sometimes.
We're not splitting shit. It's fucking hour-long episodes from here on out. Fucking welcome to YouTube, bitches. And we're back on YouTube, Jack.
Oh, good.
Yeah, well, I mean, this obviously I can post this, so. But I mean, those are the two main topics I really wanted to talk about. I don't know if you guys had anything else you kind of wanted to interject here.
Not offhand, really anything. Let's take a look down the list.
My one thing I want to add will have to be a whole episode, because I know
Okay,
you guys
you know
have
what?
done it before, but like I didn't get to be a part of it.
What is it?
Hit me.
The Robin discussion.
Oh, the Robin. Who is the best like successor to Batman?
Yes.
Absolutely, it's Damien.
Bullshit.
Why Damien?
Bullshit.
Because he is literally Bruce's blood.
I don't
So
give a
who
fuck.
cares?
He's
Dick is
unhinged.
So the best to replace Batman
Dick
would
Grayson.
be Dick.
Yes.
No,
My favorite of all of them
Damien
is
fucked
Jason.
up Dick the first time he ever meets him.
Damien is a trained assassin that's a little sociopath. Like, come on.
Yeah.
What is Batman other than
Yeah,
that was
okay,
Hold on.
Dick feels
He's
bad
not a
about punching a
murderer.
small child in the face, but it has
Hold
been
on,
proven
hold on.
multiple times he will win that
Damien
fight.
joined the Court of Owls out of spite.
that's my point.
Little sociopath.
Damien says he's
Dick Grayson has a code.
fuck the code.
No, but that's what Batman is. Batman's the code. Jason Todd is a murderous psychopath who
And
was
that's
killed
why
and
I
brought back by
love
the
him.
Lazarus
That's
pit.
why I love
I
him.
love
Damien
this.
is a murderous
Not
psychopath
be able
who was trained by the head of the dragon. So I don't know what to tell you.
But
They're both murderous.
watch the DC animated movies. Like the growth that Damien goes through is perfect for him to take the role of that.
All right, hold on. Can we just agree on one thing? It's
What?
definitely not
Tim
Batman
Drake?
Beyond. Well, it's not Tim Drake either.
Or Terry.
Tim tried. Come
Terry
on.
McGinnis is a crispy critter.
Come on. Tim tried.
Jason is the crispy critter. You really would
Yeah,
get
Jason just got attacked with a fucking a crowbar.
Yeah, and then he blew up the warehouse he was in. That's what killed him. He literally cooked.
You leave him alone. I can't believe they actually put that out to a vote, and then they killed him.
See, I believe that they put it out to the vote. I can't believe the vote was to kill him. Like, imagine.
I think
Hold on.
they did it just as I think a lot of people voted for that just to see if they would actually kill him.
So, and I'm going to be honest with you. So, Jay, and well, I guess Mark too. We've been playing D&D recently.
Yes.
Jay, we talked about this last week. You're a murder hobo, but you're not a murder hobo in real life, right?
No, of course not.
You get to live out that fantasy. So people lived out the fantasy of like, I want to see someone die. I want to see a beloved character
People
die.
committed.
Also, you call me a murder hobo in our game. I've never hurt anybody in the game.
But you have the tendencies of a murder hobo.
Homie,
How do I have the tendencies of a murder hobo when I haven't killed
you
anybody?
made us fight a mimic the entire time.
Not yet. We'll get there.
No. I didn't make you fight a mimic. You had
"Roll
somebody
the
in the
note." You said,
group,
"I can't tell
which
you." And then you went, okay, you find a guy with a carton. Everything's a mimic.
you guys were dumb enough to start touching shit. That's not my fault.
It's my fault that I killed everything though. Because
It's
the
also
answer is
Eddie's
always
fault
fireball.
because I placed the shiny thing in front of Eddie. And you all should know.
Yeah,
if you
No,
see
that was
something
my idea.
shiny there, don't touch it. Just don't touch it. And
barbarians.
Eddie being Eddie just went.
No, it wasn't even barbarians. It's no matter what class Eddie was going to touch the shiny thing because
Yeah.
Eddie is Eddie, and he is predictable.
So he went and grabbed it full on, and you guys then got to fight almost an entire card of mimics. There was about 4 things on that entire card that weren't mimics, and one of them being the actual card.
Wait,
I'm going to say it again. Fireball is always the answer.
F is for fire.
It will always be the answer.
F is.
You're in a room. You're in a 20-foot room. Fireball.
I didn't ask how big the room was. I cast Fireball.
Goddamn right. You mean all of your friends are within reach? Fireball. Yep, don't care. I'm going to TPK everybody, including myself.
Well, if you go deep enough into D&D, you can actually get a subclass of the wizards where when you cast spells like that, it doesn't hurt your own teammates.
No, I want friendly fire.
Well, then you can be that sociopath. And
we're gonna multi-class, and I'm just gonna stay at level 1. I just want to get just enough fireball to kill stuff.
You don't get it until level
A 4 or something like that. Yeah, I'll get level 4. We'll figure it out. But all right, guys. On that note, before we get way too off topic, Jason, thank you so much for coming on. You are always welcome. We'll let you know next time we're recording. Mark, as always, it has been an honor. And last but not least, guys, check us out on all of our social media. We are the Nerds Who Drink. So at Nerds Who Drink on Instagram. We're on X or Twitter. We are on TikTok against my better judgment. And we're on YouTube at Nerds Who Drink. So last but not least, I'm Steve.
I'm Mark.
And we'll catch you guys next time.
Bye.